Hi friends, I hope you have a wonderful day, and finally I'm gonna be reacting to some video of rocket power and Mohawk. I don't know if I'm saying it right, so yeah, sorry if I'm not. Yeah. I guess this time we're gonna watch something about Stroll. So, yeah, I hope that you will enjoy this. I'm feeling kind of weird to watch video where you can see other guy like almost commenting video like me. So, so yeah, let's just check it out.
I just found this video on YouTube this morning. It's an interview with Lance Stroll by Gary. At 29 minutes and 37 seconds, when he's talking about getting a super license, listen to what he says. Are you ready? Click.
The system is to, you know, keep the guys that don't deserve to be there, like, from just, like, buying their way through the junior series and getting to F1. Like, it makes...
He is talking about who? Who?
like, the guys that, you know, win, deserve, and earn their spot to get there, and I think it's great.
Okay. Doggy, we are...
Oh, you want to get fucked up?
You want to... Let me get in the bath. Let me get in the bath. Say that. Stops people from buying their way. Where's my...
Sorry, what?
Why is that not plugged in? It stops people buying their way. Swear down on my hands. It stops people buying their way. Why is that on? Please, come on. Why does nothing work? Irony. The use of words to express something different from and often opposite to their literal meaning. For example, when you explain how the super license system is supposed to stop rich arseholes who don't deserve to be in Formula One from just buying their way in, and then buying your way in, and then spending your entire career proving why the super license system is an obvious lie. Exhibit A.
Yeah, why it should kind of, it's a lie, but still it should be there, you know.
A. Exhibit B. Exhibit C. Exhibit D. Exhibit A, B, C, D, E. Exhibit F. Exhibit G. H, I, J, K, L, M, L, O, P. L-O-Mellow-P. And the latest exhibits were over the past 2 races. Yeah, he did something stupid in both of them. At the last race in Miami, he crashed into Fernando Alonso on the first lap of the sprint race, and obviously a certain fan base tried blaming Fernando. But people who live in reality saw that it was a combination of Lewis Hamilton steaming down the inside and the window licker having the spatial awareness of Stevie Wonder. Although Stevie Wonder somehow managed to catch a microphone stand that was falling over, that's suspicious. And he was also spotted taking a picture of Michael Jackson with a camera. Why would you use a camera like this if you were blind? He even did an episode of Carpool Karaoke with James Corden.
Are you sure you're okay to drive?
I got my license.
Really? You've got your license.
Oh shit! What the...
Still a better drive.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. This this video is a little bit chaotic, I wanna say. Okay.
Than Lance Stroll. So, crashing into your teammate on the first lap of the race is pretty bad, but on the scale of licking windows, yes, that is a real unit of measurement, and it's...
Yeah, I wanna know more about licking windows scale.
It's measured in jam licked per square inch. Science! On the official scale of licking windows, we have barely lifted off the x-axis. Because at the race before Miami in China, he crashed into the back of Daniel Ricciardo behind the safety car, which is about the stupidest thing you can possibly do.
I guess that is the famous, or I guess that is a very popular video lately. I have seen almost... It's not in every video, but yeah. That is a shit show, yeah.
Made even worse by coming on the radio and calling the guy that he just crashed into an idiot.
This was at the head of it. Oh, that is ridiculous. That is a huge hit into the back.
Idiots just slammed on the brake, check wing damage. Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see?
And then in the post-race interview, not only does he have the most punchable face I've ever seen, but just listen to the lack of accountability and the lack of emotion.
What happened from your point of view?
Yeah, I think it was a Constantina effect in the hairpin. Someone braked in front, and then I think it was like everyone kind of braked, and the car in front of me just stopped right in front of me. I had nowhere to go, and yeah.
First of all, it's not Constantina effect, it's Concertina effect, you illiterate fuck. And secondly, this is why people hate you. He ruins other people's races as well as his own, and then it's just like he doesn't give a fuck. Where is the passion?
There is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression, there is no fucking mindset, nothing is there. What the hell?
But these types of mistakes are not isolated incidents, and today I wanted to do a deep dive into the window licker's lack of spatial awareness, because it's a debilitating disease that affects millions of people worldwide. For example, at the
about windows licking scale, I don't what you yeah.
2022 Australian Grand Prix, the window licker attempted to assassinate the king, Nicholas Latifi. R.I.P. King. This happened in qualifying when Latifi attempted to drive past the window licker, and for some unknown reason, he veered right, causing a massive crash. And
like we know he doesn't use the mirrors. Usually. That could be the one thing.
Obviously took zero responsibility.
Latifi, man, what the f is he just doing? You just hit me, man.
He didn't hit you, hit him, you okay, I am gonna stay calm. Moderate levels of window
Please try to be calm.
licking have been achieved, and there's more. At the 2017 Bahrain Grand Prix, Carlos Sainz came out of the pit lane, rejoined the track, and sent it down the inside into the first corner. But Stevie Wonder swoops in from the outside as if there's nobody there and takes both of them out of the race. And obviously the Stroll bandwagon are gonna say, well, he just didn't see him coming. He didn't see him come down the inside. What sort of defense is that? Remember, this is about his lack of awareness to what's going on around him. Carlos is clearly visible coming out of the pit lane halfway down the straight. So maybe he should have anticipated a Carlos Sainz-shaped object on the apex when he turned into the corner. And once again, zero responsibility.
I got hit from the side. I got completely destroyed from the side. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what...
Oh my god, what happened? It was so sudden.
What happened? You're a fucking idiot. That's what happened. High levels of window licking have now been achieved. And obviously, there is more. At the 2017 Malaysian Grand Prix, after the race had finished and all the cars were coming back to the pit lane, Sebastian Vettel attempted to go around the outside of Stevie Wonder, and once again, he veers right, causing a crash.
Is that possible? Stroll is not looking where he's going. He completely shunted into my car. I mean, seriously.
Warning, excessive levels of window licking have now been achieved. And yes, there is more. Because a few years after this incident, Stevie Wonder and Charles Manson became teammates. And you would never crash into your teammate. At the 2021...
Unless you're Stroll.
Russian Grand Prix, as the rain started to fall in the closing stages, caused...
Although, one thing. If he doesn't want to race, you know, the safest could be destroy his car and his teammates, because everything gets paid by his father. So, yeah, it's an idea. Maybe he's thinking like that. I don't know.
Causing chaos. Obviously, the window licker was having a bit of a struggle session, going off the track multiple times, including one moment where his race engineer asked him if he could handle the conditions. He said yes, and then immediately fucked it into the barriers.
Yes. Can you stay out on this condition? Can you stay out?
Yes!
Well, at least his comedic timing is world class. But then when his teammate, Sebastian Vettel, went for an overtake, Stevie Wonder almost drove the two of them into the wall.
Well, that's his teammate, Lance Stroll, just ahead of him. Whoa! And Stroll, wandering over to the left-hand side, puts his teammate into the wall.
Dangerous levels of window licking have now been achieved. And there's more. At the 2020 Portuguese Grand Prix, Max Verstappen made the mistake of going side by side with Stevie Wonder down the main straight, and as they barreled into the first corner, once again, he swoops in as if there's nobody there and causes a crash. As you can imagine, MaxiPad didn't take that too well.
What the fuck is wrong with him? Jesus Christ, what a retard.
Excuse me, Max. We can criticise his driving without resorting to ableist language. Don't be so insensitive. And the window licker.
The R word was kind of unexpected. That's the reason why I did laugh so much, so loud, and yeah. Oof.
Because the window licking spastic, you fucking spastic. Intergalactic levels of window licking have now been achieved. Now let's go back to the interview, because what he was specifically talking about is drivers buying their way through the lower formulas, like Formula 3 and Formula 2. So I went and researched what Lance Stroll was doing in the lower formulas, and the level of barefaced hypocrisy is disgusting. 2015 was a wild year. Jeremy Clarkson got fired from Top Gear, Tom Brady was suspended from the NFL, and Caitlyn Jenner threw her cock into the ocean. But in the world of motorsport, a young, fresh-faced, window-licking bastard was about to make his debut in Formula 3. And if this is what
he looks so damn little,
what he's doing right now with almost a decade of experience, take a guess to what he was doing in the early days.
She's made very good progress from 15th on the grid, and a huge crash there. Barrel rolling over. That's absolutely massive, and it's Lance Stroll.
At the Italian Formula 3 race, he drives...
So he is a professional trasher. Whatever, dude.
Drives Antonio Giovinazzi off the track, causes a crash, and barrel rolls through the air. Now, after such a scary crash, you'd imagine that he would take some time to reflect about his driving standards and what...
And yeah, like one of the videos where we could see how the F1 is cars are built now than before. Yeah, I don't like how his head is shaking. Still, good or bad driver, but I don't like that. And the halo is not here yet. So yeah, luckily, he's alive.
What he needs to do to make sure something like this never happens again. So did he take time to reflect on his driving stand? No. At the next race in Belgium, he was on the inside of two other cars, one of which was his teammate, and as they barrel into turn 7, he moves across the track and takes all three of them out of the race.
Here he comes, goes to the outside, Jensen levels, oh, make contact, and it's Rosenqvist who comes off worse. Broken suspension, up the escape road, into the barriers. You know, that could have...
I want to say there is a special place in hell for you.
Been another impact, but look at Stroll. Completely oblivious to where everybody else is.
And because this was such an obvious window lick, the FIA banned him from the next race. Right, so after a huge crash in Monza and then getting banned from a race at the very next race in Belgium, you would imagine that he would take some time to reflect on his driving standards and what he needs to do to make sure this... No. 2 races later in Zandvoort, he does exactly the same thing to Charles Leclerc at the start of the race.
He's in the middle of the road, Charles Leclerc up alongside him, and again he just moves across. He gets airborne, he breaks front and rear suspension, and I'm afraid to say that again, that's Lance Stroll pulling a move without really being aware of what's around him, a bit like Spa.
Yes. I have never seen anybody fail...
Can his father buy him some kind of sensors for his car? So it, I don't know, 10 centimeters. I hope I said it right. Away from his car, it starts to beep like a shit ton. Like, what? And why the hell are you in F1? Sorry, if you did this shit, like, then, like before, you weren't a good driver. Why the heck? Again, his father. But like, why you wanna risk his life and others' lives and yeah, just because, yeah, I can't.
To improve even slightly over such a long period of time. When people talk about the level of consistency you need to be a Formula 1 driver, they don't mean consistently shit. And when the Stroll bandwagon tried to defend his crimes, they've got like 4 main arguments. The pole position at the 2020 Turkish Grand Prix, a front row start in Monza, his podium finish at the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix because it was his first season in Formula 1, and his F3 championship in 2016. Now, let me spend the next 5 minutes unpacking some of these arguments, and I know the Stroll fans are a bit smooth, so I'm going to explain this real slow. The 2017 Azerbaijan podium barely counts as impressive. 7 cars retired from that race, including his teammate Felipe Massa, who retired with broken suspension, Max Verstappen, who retired with an engine failure, Danny Kvyat, who retired with an engine failure, the 2 Alpines or Force Indias or whatever the fuck they were called that year tried to kill each other. Kimi Raikkonen ran over the debris and got a puncture, ripping his arsehole to shreds, and Sebastian Vettel got a 10-second stop-and-go penalty for ramming Lewis Hamilton up the arse. Lewis Hamilton himself had a loose headrest and had...
He's saying Hamilton?
to make an extra pit stop to get it fixed. So when 3/4 of the field is taken out of contention and he got a podium, I don't think that's impressive. Olivier Panis won the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix, which sounds impressive, until you find out that only 3 cars made it to the checkered flag. His podium was mid. And then we've got his 2016 F3 championship. Now, on the surface, this looks very impressive. He won the championship by 187 points and won 14 out of 30 races. And because of such a dominant performance, that allowed him to skip Formula 2 altogether and go straight to Formula 1 in 2017. And this is the main argument the Stroll smooth brains use. You can't win an entire championship unless you're a talented driver. Max Verstappen never won a Formula 3 championship. You can't fluke your way to a championship. Let me explain something. Formula 3 is a spec series. That means all the cars are basically the same, and it's supposed to be a level playing field. Supposed to be a level playing field. But when your daddy has a few bill in the bank, you can play the game with cheat codes. According to German site Automotor und Sport, Daddy Stroll purchased the entire Prema F3 team and also bought Williams a new high-tech racing simulator for...
Where do he got so much money? I want to know. Please tell me. I need one. Like, how can you spend so much? I would understand, like, if your son would be, like, good, then you wouldn't need to. Like, God damn it, I can't understand, like, why the F you are using your money and basically throwing in the trash. I guess he has that much. I will never understand this. Sorry.
Or his son to practice on. Right, so just like with Aston Martin, Daddy Stroll bought him the entire team and he had access to a fancy simulator that none of the other drivers had access to. That would give him a slight advantage in a spec.
That's the reason why he doesn't look around him and he is not aware of everyone else. Right? Could be. Maybe. Can't stand this.
Series. But there's more. At the Dutch F3 race that year, Lance Stroll was disqualified from qualifying for a suspension irregularity. How is that possible? I thought Formula 3 was a spec series. where all of the cars are supposed to be the same? No. According to Autosports, Prema Power Team has stated that an illegal part thought to have been developed by the Williams Formula One team did not enhance Lance Stroll's speed in qualifying. Obvious lie. Prema boss Rene Rosin would not comment on the speculation that the suspension modification, which was fitted only to Stroll's car, so not his teammates, came from Williams, although reliable sources have told Autosport that Prema has had a development car at the F1 factory and there has been a Williams staff member on site at Zandvoort. Right. Are you starting to understand what's going on here? Daddy Stroll bought the entire F3 team and a fancy new simulator that none of the other drivers had access to, and then was working secretly with a Formula One team to develop illegal parts for the car, and then put those illegal parts only on his son's car. And there is more! Because then there is the team...
Can I scream? Can I scream? What F? What actual F? No.
Team orders controversy, and I think this is the most egregious part of the whole thing. This is the first race of the 2016 F3 season, and this is Lance Stroll on pole position with his teammate Nick Cassidy second on the grid next to him. Now, when the race starts, Cassidy overtakes Stroll and takes the lead of the race into the first corner. And he stayed in the lead of the race for a single lap until he remembered that Daddy Stroll owns the team and he doesn't want to get pumped. So on the second lap, he backs off going down the main straight and lets the window liquor through.
And now a change of lead. Lance Stroll just simply drives past his teammate Nick Cassidy into the lead of the race. There is the Prema Power Team. They've still got to walk too, but...
What possible excuse is there for team orders at the first race of the season on the second lap? So it's obvious that his teammates are being paid off not to fight him. And Osama bin Russell, who at the time was racing in this series, had something to say about all this. In an interview with Autosport, Osama said that the Stroll team orders were ruining Formula 3. He said, and I quote, "I feel sorry for Nick. To have to give up his position to Lance on the first lap of the first race is bad for the championship. He was on the back of Lance throughout the race, and it's a bit of a shame if the championship is going to pan out this way. High Tech don't have a way of protecting me like Prema do with Lance. It's a shame that you can't get anywhere in this sport without paying for it." Do you know what? Even though Osama bin Russell is an international terrorist who has had his own series of window-licking moments, I respect him for speaking out about this obvious corruption. So, to be clear, when the Stroll bandwagon tried to defend his crimes by saying, well, he dominated the 2016 season, how do you explain that? Because his dad created a circumstance where it was almost impossible for him to fail, and he still did fail almost half the time. The fact that he only won 14 races that year and not every single one of them is an embarrassment. And then to go and do an interview and talk about drivers buying their way through the lower formulas when your dad bought you a Formula 3 team and paid off all of your teammates not to compete with you and was secretly working with a Formula 1 team to develop illegal parts for only your car, and then to just brush that off as if it never even happened. You sit upon a throne of lies. Swear to Christ, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It's the barefaced hypocrisy.
He can't stand him anymore.
Because I live in reality. Listen, I live in three-dimensional reality, and this sack of subhuman trash. I live in three-dimensional reality where I can see things happen with my eyes, and he is clearly delusional. Ow, fuck, shit.
Is he trying to cope with this?
This is a Victory V12. No, it's a 212 cab with Celestian speakers, and it's got a 50-ounce ceramic magnet. That is a lot of ceramic. Okay, let me get back to my point. Let me explain. What I was saying is, I know, let me explain something, and I am going to...
Yeah, please do.
Explain it real slow. The podium in Azerbaijan was mid, because like 3 cars finished the race. The 2016 championship domination was fake and made up and fabricated. But what about pole in Turkey? Your mum could get pole in Turkey, and the Monza front row star, okay, he actually qualified 4th. The Red Bulls had penalties, so we lined up on the front row. Listen. Those moments are like tiny droplets of competence within a monsoon of shite. And I know my hatred of Lance Stroll is borderline mental illness, but it's the barefaced hypocrisy. Let me use the green screen. It's the barefaced hypocrisy. It's the fucking lying and the corruption, and I won't stand for it. And instead of making a video...
But like, he doesn't understand his fault and everything that they are doing. He and his father. And they're kind of delusional.
About Lando Norris winning the Miami Grand Prix and the potential Red Bull downfall, I thought it was more important to do an investigative piece on one of the most corrupt families in Formula One history. And when this is over, because he will retire at some point, thank Christ, when he leaves Formula
But when?
One, and this isn't even a YouTube video anymore, I'm speaking directly to you. When you eventually leave Formula One, your entire motorsport career will go down in history as a disgusting nightmare. Thank you and goodbye.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Before, when I was checking the video about Lance, I didn't know that he was shit before. So yeah, that isn't good. That isn't good. That was actually a sign that he doesn't need to go higher. But yeah. Now I kinda think why I didn't check his videos much sooner. Was really funny, and now I know a lot. So yeah. Yeah, this was really fun and excruciating actually. So I hope that you did enjoy this video, and if you did, please consider to leave a like and subscribe, and yeah. Hopefully I'm gonna see you next time. If you have some other suggestions, please leave them in my Discord server, and yeah, take care. Bye!